my Commodore 64. The nicest computer? No. Best computer? No. But for me, my personal favourite computer. Could do it all. Like graphics, sprites, sound, you name it. You had standard joystick ports. Not so standard anything else, but a lot of stuff was compatible with the VIC-20 anyway. However, this was not my first computer. This was my first computer, the C16. It had nothing of what the Commodore 64 had. It had no sprites. It had worse sound. It had non-standard ports. Joystick port. Cartridge slot wasn't compatible. It doesn't matter if it was. Machine's not compatible with anything else. Tape port. I don't know what that's about. These are the only two that seem to be compatible with anything, and even then you have to be careful. So this is my C16. I've never opened it, never switched it on, got no idea if it works. So have a look around, let's see what we've got. Just about make that serial number out there. 264 series, that refers to the chipset. Right, so let's take it apart. Now, as I do this, I have to say that I am not a computer expert. It is not my first language. Yes, I've had computers most of my life of one sort or another, but I'm not an expert. So if I can get this working, it'll be a minor miracle. The C16s are notorious for being poor. The chips die whenever they want. I always forget how small this computer is. Right, there we go. And here we are. The lovely Commodore 16. Let me zoom in a little bit. Get a better look. Okay, so this is a Rev A board. It looks not too bad. Actually, it looks quite clean. It does. Legs on look a bit suspect, but the TED, which is responsible for the graphics and the sound, and some say it has better colours than any other Commodore machine of the 8-bit variety, but who knows. The CPU, again, non-standard, but you can change that with adapters, and there's new replacements for them. These are the ROMs, kernel and the basic, and yeah, I think this has a PLA. Oh yeah, it does, that's the PLA. And that's another one that likes to die for fun. And we've got the memory and a few logic chips and timer circuits and whatnot. Don't know. Okay, so So let's get it out of the case. As I say, this was my first computer, and when it first came out, it was supposedly a cheap alternative. It was supposed to replace the VIC-20, I think. I always forget about them. It's supposed to replace the VIC-20, but a lot of people would say it was a lot less capable. I'd agree. I'll take that off. Let's get rid of the bottom. So that's a little bit on the wonky side there. Yeah, there we go. It's not a bad angle. Okay, so let's have a look at the back. Looks like it's got factory flux everywhere, so it could probably do a bit of a clean, but looking at it, I'm not sure if any rework's been done. That looks a bit suspect, but yeah, I mean, no obvious problems or broken traces, or let me try and show you that. Oops. And then again, no, it's probably factory. Okay, right. So I've got my little chip lifter. And here we are. Sorry, my big noggin's in the way there. Crappy socket, but looks okay. And here is the TED itself. Not too bad, a couple of little marks there. A couple of little marks there. Other than that, looks okay. And you put a little bit of contact cleaner in. So that comes, I mean, they're great though, but there we are. But I think this bit needs flattening so it doesn't come out so quickly. Okay, let me just look pretty straight, but oh god, no. Nope, I think it's too big. Damn. Have to do the old just push down on it a little bit. Get my big noggin out the way again. Okay. That looks okay. And that looks okay. Okay, so let's have a look at the CPU. You wouldn't think the same company came out with this SID chip. It's mind blowing, really. Okay. Again, seems to look okay. Oh, upside down. Okay. So again, let's have a look at the socket. Looks a little bit better than the other one. Oops. See what I mean about it? It sort of just dribbles out. Don't even have to squeeze it. Okay, so I don't know a lot about electronics, but one thing I do know is that the notch, which is there, goes to the notch end. Okay. Snapped into place. Just hope it didn't kill it. Okay, seems okay. I can never remember which way round these two go. One's the kernel, one's the basic. So shout at me please and tell me. I think it looks in pretty good nick, that chip. I'll just put that there for now. Okay, notch at the notch end. That's gone in. Lovely. Get the other one now. As I say, I mean, you'd think Commodore will be able to produce better quality chips, but for some reason in the 264 series you just want to die for fun. What I don't understand is that they could have easily have used a normal was it 6502 or the 6510 from the Commodore 64? Can't remember, but they could have easily have used one of them. And the PLA, they could have used the same PLA. Okay, they've consolidated this, but it's not as if they made it a more capable machine. But Commodore were in a position back then, at that time, where they thought they could do anything, and I suspect it was Jack Tremel or Dremel had a lot to do with it. He had some strange ideas. He had some great ideas, but he had some strange ideas as well. And he killed Commodore at the end of the day, and a few other people. It wasn't just him. And this was one of the machines that helped bring Commodore down, because it was a complete folly, as was the Plus 4. Grab the keyboard and we'll plug it back in. It's keyed so it can't be put on back to front. I believe the Commodore 64 keyboard does work, but some alterations and kernel alterations, I think. And good old Commodore, put that anywhere you want. Right, okay. So you just see the power light. So, as I say, one good thing Commodore did do is the video out coincided with other Commodore machines, and that's the video, isn't it? Yeah. So you can use Commodore 64 video cables. I have this multi-PSU. Let me see if I can get it in. With variable voltage. But I got one with replaceable ends, like so. Like that. Now, the only problem is, this has a center negative like the Spectrum. So, here's hoping that I don't destroy the computer. So let me just switch over to the capture device. And there we are. Right, okay, so here's open. Hey, look at that. That is unbelievable. You have a good spell? Oh, God. Do you know what I keep doing? I keep thinking I can do capitals. Shameless self-promotion. Well, that turned out to be quite boring, didn't it? It just worked. However, it isn't the only C16 that I've got. I'd say how professional, but I'm not meant to be, because these videos are meant for my personal consumption. As a means to help with my mental health. I was reading somewhere that if you feel, basically I come to a point where, for whatever reason, I felt guilty that I had a hobby. Don't know why, just did. And I really went off the boil with retro. I'd watch YouTube and watch other people, and I've got a few computers here that, you know, some are broke, some need repairing, but I couldn't motivate myself to do so. And I was reading somewhere that to validate your hobby, A good way of doing it is to film yourself doing your hobby and watch it back. And the idea is that you see how much you enjoy the hobby. Makes sense. So, you know, go and get on. Yeah, that was the whole point of doing this. Wasn't to do YouTube. Let me zoom out a little bit. Wasn't to do YouTube. It was to validate how much I enjoyed the hobby. And I thought, well, you know, other people might enjoy watching it, they might slate them. The issues are that the mental health state is it fragile enough that you can cope with negativity on something that you've done? I don't know. It looks a little bit more battered than the first one. Again, never opened it, don't know if it works. But I do know there's that. I don't know what it is. Looks like some sort of stain off something as opposed to, you know, like it's been sat on something. It's sort of like scorched it. I was watching Gadget UK recently, and he had, I think it was a C16 he was repairing, and I don't know where he got this from, but it worked. That if you get heat, like from a heat gun, then stress points on the case that are white, if you heat it, it goes. Don't know if it adds any structural integrity to it, but it goes. I don't think this would go, but it might be worth a try. I've not actually tried to clean this. It actually looks like a bit like paint or something, I don't know. And I spy an RF shield. So has it been opened? Who knows? Well, let's have a look. Well, they didn't come out that hard. So I think it's... See, the idea was just to buy the two of them. With the idea of making one good machine. The case on the other one's good. And this would be a donor machine maybe. But who knows? Okay. RF shield. I hate these things. I know it acts as a bit of a heat sink, like, but that can be sorted out relatively easily. It does have a special place in my heart, but like Spectrum does for a lot of Specky owners, especially in the UK. I mean, the Specky's more capable than this, but it wasn't as capable as the 64. And I think that was fairly well accepted. Better graphics, better sound, so on and so on. But even so, it still had a special place in people's hearts because it just did. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean this does as well. It does for me. I didn't have it that long actually, funnily enough, because it was so ubiquitously bad in comparison to the 64. Just zoom in a bit. Yeah. It was so poor that it got you up and running, but that's about all it did. I'm going to need paper towels, so I'm going to have to use Mr. Pink. Ooh, there we are. Mr. Pink. Well, see, that's what it looks like. It's as if someone's gone mad with their movie. And there we are. Lovely jubbly. Okay. So again, let's give it a cursory look over. Another Rev A board that I get. I don't think there was many revisions of this, it wasn't out long enough. There's no... Oh, if I don't break it. There's no obvious looking issues with the dips. That looks in better nick than the other one, as if that's being changed. Not sure about the fuse actually. Let's have a look. Oh dear. I think that's broke. Let's have a gander. Actually. Yeah, it's a 1.5. Ooh, ooh, what's going on? You'll see a lot of things that are taken from other channels and heavily borrowed from Adrian's Digital Basement. Damn. I only seem to have one or two. bent pin there. Let me get my fiberglass pen, see if I can it seems to have come up a bit better. If you see, long silences like this, it's more likely because I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, so we're that way round. Run out of contact cleaner. You do control the flow though, you don't get like if I used the can, it'd spray everywhere and it'd be like such a waste. Seems I've gone okay. It was a shitty socket, sorry. I'll try not to swear. Let's give that a little going over. As I was saying, I do watch a lot of retro channels. Particularly Adrian's Digital Basement, Yam Beta, the RMT Cave. More Fun Making It is one I've recently, last few months, got into. And Gadget UK. What I like about Gadget UK is that he sometimes he can't follow it because he is very technically minded, which is fine. That's my leg straightener. But I like that. I mean, I'm learning like everybody else. You learn by mistakes. I'm going to make some. People are going to tell me. Good. I don't mind at all. It all enhances my hobby. And hopefully get some old machines back up and running. That's the whole point. I'm not necessarily one for museum quality repairs or trying to keep things as original as possible. I mean, with some machines that's impossible, and the Commodore machines are getting that way. That you have to rely on new parts or people's ingenuity in recreating chips. So I'm not necessarily one for, preserving. Depends on the machine. I mean, let's say if it was a Commodore Amiga and it was a chicken licked keyboard, then yeah, maybe. If it was a silver label 64, then yeah. Well, that was a bit stupid. Let's do that again, eh? And let's do it the right way around. Oh my god. Such an amateur. That looks fine. Yeah, so, you know, it's getting harder and harder, so, but I'm not one for the sake of doing something new because it's the new shiny thing. I was watching The Clueless Engineer, Brett the Aussie. I do like his channel, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it. I don't watch every video because I'm not into calculator repair or, you know, things like that, but some of the stuff he has, like, especially the Soviet stuff, it's dead interesting. But like I was watching with this a Timex T1000 and I don't know, I got the impression that it needed to have the 32K upgrade. I mean, don't get me wrong, the 1K standard Ramble 2K for that one is a bit poor, but it just seemed to want to do it for the sake of wanting to do it. But he openly admits, like I do, he's not one for originality. As long as you get the machine working, doesn't really matter. If you come across a museum-worthy piece, then fine. But yeah, if you don't, you don't. And I've got 6 ZX81s. I'm looking at my phone, and you can't even see my face. You know, so I'd like some of them to stay original. Others I'm open to seeing what I can do with it. But yeah, it depends on the machine, depends on circumstances really. It's like these C16s that if this works, I will genuinely be amazed, because that means it'll be 2 I've bought that just work. It's so unusual for this computer. But if it, for whatever reason, decides not to work, then I'm very much open to new adaptations of the PLA and the CPU. So, you know, it's fine, right? Let's give it a try. Do you know, it's funny. You know, like, I grew up with the 64, as I say, and I always wanted to know why the dataset was called the CN2. Never ever worked it out until a few years ago. I got back into this, and I was looking at the 64 board, and where the cassette port was, it said CN2. Why call it that? Why? Commodore. Typical. Right, there we go. Okay, so let me change to the capture. Let's plug in my power supply. There we are. There we go. Just put that in the shot, and you can see the power light. So what do we reckon? No. Doesn't work. Oh no. Let's take that a sec. Fuse is held up. And change the capture screen back. Take the video out. Now this is where my lack of expertise comes in, because I don't know what I'm doing here, but put it into continuity. There we go. Let's see if we are getting power. There's power coming through because the power light comes on. And I'm going to open it out to you lot out there. What should I be looking for now? It comes on, it's a black screen. Is it the TED? Should I take the TED out of the other computer and try that in there? Or the CPU? Or the PLA? What should I do? You let me know.